Hey folks, what's flocking? I hope you're doing well. So today I'm gonna talk about Sniperwolf. If that name rings a bell, then I'm sorry that you have the burden of knowing it. At first we knew her as this cute gamer girl with a big following, but recently she's been in a bad way for the last year or so. There's a whole lot of stuff that she was being exposed for. With what? Telling a kid to twerk in front of her on an Omegle chat, faking her videos with her boyfriend at the time playing the video games and she's doing the annoying commentary. Ghosted a sick and dying kid whose one last wish was to meet Sniperwolf, stealing people's video ideas from people like Azzyland. And the biggest jaw dropper of all that she's done, getting mad that people like Jack Films were mimicking her generic video style to the point where Jack got doxxed by Sniperwolf. That one was the biggest outcry for everyone in the community. YouTube HQ didn't read into it until everyone mentioned it to them on Twitter to say, punish Sniperwolf for this deplorable action. Hell, even Jack Films made a mention to YouTube for them to demonetize her and get her off the platform. And what did YouTube do when they finally looked at this and took action against Sniperwolf? They demonetized her channel only temporarily. Now, personally, I don't think this was going to be enough to set the record straight. Because, mind you, she did all of these deplorable things back then with the little sick kid and ripping off Azzyland for her own benefit. YouTube's like, yeah, let's half-ass it. These genuine people with morals believe we need to take action, but we still need her as a money milk. Just suspend her monetization for a few weeks. Maybe people will forget about it then. And that wasn't enough to make Sniperwolf regret her actions. You know why? Because her channel is still up, and she's still uploading to the main channel. Her monetization suspension might have been finished by now, because during her suspension, she was trying to still get money from YouTube by uploading her main channel content to the second channel, which was actually monetized during the suspension. See the loophole here, guys? They focused so much on demonetizing the first channel that they forgot about the second one and was like, okay, screw it. We'll let her keep the second channel monetized. We'll get the first channel monetized in a few weeks or so. There would have not been a loophole if she had been removed from the platform permanently on all accounts. You know, if people at YouTube actually did a better job trying to keep the YouTube community free of corruption and try not to make money of their own of that said corruption. We'll talk about YouTube being a scummy platform another time. Right now, this is about the one crazy girl. So Sniperwolf is now facing new accusation against Azzyland, the same girl that she ripped off from. She's accusing Sniperwolf of assaulting her during the Fortnite Pro-Am back in 2018. This all comes from a channel named Nerd City, made a really long documentary about her. Never heard of the guy, but he seems pretty chill. He doesn't like Sniperwolf either, so that's a bonus. It's called When Sniperwolf Loses, This Happens. Narcissism Explained. They talk about the selfish things that Sniperwolf has done and uses the psychological references of narcissism and uses it to compare it with Sniperwolf. Very interesting video if you're into the psychological aspect of things or if you just don't like Sniperwolf in general. Either way, you'll get a good kick out of it.
Also joining us today, Sniperwolf.
And Sniperwolf embarrassed herself in more ways than one. Billed as the pro gamer in a pro-amateur duo, Sniperwolf was outplayed by everyone on the stage that day, including the amateur playing with a bucket on his head. All said and done, her team finished tied for dead last with 0 points. She got eliminated early in all 3 rounds of the tournament. In fact, she turned in such a poor performance that she barely appears on screen at all in the entire 3.5-hour broadcast. Blink and you would miss her.
Sniperwolf, hello.
She was like playing in the competition, but she was the very first person to die. I didn't see this, but people said that she died within like a few seconds.
So yeah, this basically says that Sniperwolf was faking her gameplay all along. If it wasn't for the lawsuit being made by her ex-boyfriend, who was the gameplay video recorder throughout her whole channel career, then being last in the Fortnite Pro-Am surely was.
When I get mad, it's real quick.
When I get mad, I get really mad.
After failing to assault other internet celebrities within the game, she made up for it in real life. Just like she always knew that she would.
I never had time to practice or go to events and compete, and not to mention I am a very bad sport. If I lose, like, I'll go apeshit or cry or attack people. I'll literally attack people. I get really, really competitive.
You would think with that information she told in that little clip of hers when she's playing the Call of Duty, saying that, oh, she's a bad sport. When I lose in a competitive setting, I'll get very crossed and start taking it out on people. You would think the event coordinators would see this in a bad way to put Sniperwolf in their lineup. Look, I get frustrated in video games as much as the next guy. It's a pretty common emotion. Some express it more extreme than others. Like, why do you think the white nerds say the N-word in the voice chat? I swear to God. But if this is how a headliner is gonna act in front of your event, then I hope you're ready to face controversy. Of course, this was before everyone knew that Sniperwolf was garbage, so you can't blame Pro AM for all of it. It was Sniperwolf and how she was acting when she lost in the event.
What many who were there did witness off camera was Sniperwolf getting involved in altercations. The first of which was a screaming match with her partner Evan.
He can't play for her live.
When I don't get my way, I scream, and I scream really loud.
Sniperwolf and the man who now claims to have been playing for her at home were observed to be furious with each other immediately after her last place finish.
I threw my headset off, and then I went to go cry in the bathroom for a little bit. And then I had to come back on stream and pretend like I was okay. Okay, I kind of overreacted.
See what I mean, guys? Sniperwolf even admits it herself. She overreacts, and not in the cute e-girl persona that she only uses for her videos, but in a rage-inducing state where even blinking at her would make her explode if she was in a bad mood. The boyfriend endured it, a couple of people saw it at the Pro-Am, and she even admits it herself that she'll scream out loud when she doesn't get her way. It's almost like a child's temper tantrum, if you ask me. Well, we got that one part out of the way. Sniperwolf is a noob. She lost in the Fortnite Pro-Am because the boyfriend wasn't there to play the game for her. What a hassle. Now let's get to the part where Azzyland exposes Sniperwolf for what she did to her at the Pro-Am event.
They were like in a circle, and I walked in the bathroom, and then when I was walking back, I saw them, and they're like, "Hey, Azzy," and then I was like, "Sniper's there," and I'm like, "Oh, you know what? Just be nice." They just walk over, and then I go in there, and I got really awkward, so I started like just telling an embarrassing story of myself, and she just like is looking at me. She's silent, and she's like angry, and then she like lunges at me, and I don't remember like exact details because it was just fucking terrifying. Got in between and like pulled her off me, and then they took her back into the room, and then I was out there, and they were like, "What the was that?"
Man, that sounds like some really unhinged behavior here. This makes the whole doxing situation with Jack Films look like a cakewalk compared to this story. And it did say in the video that the witnesses who saw Azzyland get beat up by Sniperwolf were there, so I could believe it. Hearing in the beginning that Sniperwolf would go apeshit when she doesn't get her way, and she admits it herself, that would be something to look into. It makes me think about what the other people that could have endured Sniperwolf's wrath. We've seen the top 3 so far when it comes to being in a Sniperwolf hit list, and it seems like Azzyland is number 1 on the list. Because 1, she had the nerve to steal Azzyland's same video concept, same thumbnails, same dialogue, etc.
We saw how Sniperwolf was copying elements from Azzyland that had already proven to be popular.
A piece of wood used to mix paint for 50 years.
Used to mix paint for 50 years.
Imagine how cool this would be, like people like were a little more creative though, and they were like, pink, blue, yellow, purple.
I mean, it would have been cooler if y'all used like brighter colors or something.
It's the same kind of content. She's just a liar though. She's stealing everything and has been for a very long time.
And 2, if she's really upset with Azzyland being in her presence to the point where she just lunges at her and attacks, it just goes to show you that Sniperwolf has a deep hatred for this lady.
literally copied the house tour as he did, and even wore the same outfit during the house tour, and even pointed out the same things in the house tour that Azzy did. And when I say same things, weird things that you wouldn't normally point out in a house tour.
Like this really weird example where Azzyland is talking about plants in her home, basically saying that, you know, she doesn't really take care of them. They end up being killed and dying. But then Sniperwolf goes on to say that they're luscious, well taken care of plants.
More plants that I'm killing.
A luscious, well taken care of plant.
And try to make it better, almost like out of spite.
Honestly, I can see the comparisons on why Sniperwolf is a narcissist. Just trying to do the same thing that Azzyland's been doing for years, and she wants to make it better than Azzyland's. There's no real moral benefit when you're trying to take someone else's idea and claim it as your own because you think it's better than how they originally did it.
This whole time, Sniperwolf has been running a nonstop smear campaign against Azzyland, confoundingly trying to convince fans that Azzy has been stealing from her.
Much larger creator doing something extremely wrong and then claim that she's not copying, and also that the inverse is happening.
So it's pretty much a synopsis of everything new that's come out. Sniperwolf thinks Azzy copies her, Azzy thinks Sniperwolf copies her, and Nerd City proves that Sniperwolf copies Azzy.
Okay, it's one thing to get ideas from others and not try to put any effort in it to make it original as your own, but trying to spread the word that the person you're stealing from is instead stealing from you? That's just morally fucked up, and I'm sorry to say it to you Sniperwolf fans that simp for her and defend everything she does. I honestly don't see a justifiable reason for treating Azzyland like this. This isn't revenge or anything, because mind you, Sniperwolf copied first, so this has to be arrogance, which is a narcissistic trait, I assume.
And to seeing all of the hate that she'd sent towards Azzy was not to apologize or tell her fans like not to go attack Azzy. She didn't admit that she copied her sometimes, nothing like that.
Sniperwolf responded. Oh, trust Sniperwolf to always respond.
So Sniper tries to come back. This was the most pathetic comeback of all comebacks.
I have a backup of videos and screenshots before she changed the thumbnails to make it look like I copied her.
I have proof she copied my thumbnails. SEO, the way I speak, the jokes I make.
The way you're trying to manipulate this
is fraud! This is fraud!
I haven't had any, I haven't had any caffeine. I'm just losing my mind.
And then it keeps going. It's like, I have screenshots of you uploading the same video as me minutes after I upload on multiple occasions.
So yeah, it's obvious that she really did want everyone to take her side with the Azzyland slander. It even gotten to the point where community notes on the Dextero post on what was trying to make the comparison to those two said that, oh, this doesn't prove anything. It's just a similar title, but it doesn't have the same thumbnails. They both have made similar videos before. Are we talking about the videos that Sniperwolf made after Azzyland made a similar one to the same topic she was talking about, with the different dates where Sniperwolf did it later than Azzyland? Because if we're talking about that, then the community note did the exact opposite of giving understanding of how Azzyland was the original idea for these kinds of videos. Sniperwolf must have paid them to wrote that note to defend her wrongdoing, no doubt.
Azzy had uploaded a few minutes after Sniperwolf, and that, in Sniperwolf's mind, was proof that Azzy had copied the video from her, which makes no sense. Now, the reason that that's terrible proof that Azzy was copying from Sniperwolf is that you can't make an entire YouTube video in a few minutes. So there's no way she could have copied the theme of the video from her and uploaded instantly like that. It just doesn't make any sense.
Not only a liar, but now you look dumb as hell.
Yeah, it doesn't take rocket science to figure out that Sniperwolf is doing the exact same thing that Azzyland has been doing in the past. Same thumbnail, same approach, similar titles, same voice, etc. But what gets me the most is how Sniperwolf tried to pin it all on Azzyland, saying that she was the one that stole from Sniperwolf and not the other way around. I'm sorry to say it, but this is deplorable. It's straight up sadistic is what it is. Who knows how this will affect Azzyland's career in the long run. But Sniperwolf doesn't care about that though. She only cares about what she does. and no one else. She's gonna keep doing the same thing over and over again because she's still monetized on the YouTube even after the money spanking she had. The like to dislike ratio on her newer videos might be negative, but it doesn't matter. The views keep coming in and she still has a high sub count. I guess it's fuck morals. Keep doing what you're doing and get rich off of it. I just feel really bad for Aziland that she had to go through that torture. I just hope it doesn't scar her for life. That got me thinking of the other victims of Sniper Wolf. The ex-boyfriend, Jack Films, the kid that was twerking in front of Sniper Wolf on Omegle, and whatever people that we don't know that has to hide their story of their experience of Sniper Wolf. If more people came forward about this, then that would give you more of a reason to show you that Sniper Wolf is a horrible person to be around on any occasion. And I don't know if I can respect the fans of her anymore. I get that she's a pretty gamer girl and everything, but how can you defend the deplorable things she's done and continues to do? So as for the whole Sniper Wolf thing, I think she should be arrested and put on trial for the assault on Aziland. If the special treatment from the YouTube higher-ups don't make her see the error of her ways, then maybe some forced time away from the internet would. Well, that's all I gotta say. Credit to Nerd City for this video and the source. And treat people the way you want to be treated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.